5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire. The only thing we have to fear is spirit.
Mile 18.
This is Endurance Nation.
Are you tired of just losing your fitness every year? Of getting out there on the open road come springtime and everyone else is still faster than you and you're not making progress? We understand. We created the Outseason program just for you. It's a 14-week protocol for triathletes and gravel cyclists with an opportunity to lock in through your Zwift workouts and focused training to unlock your potential by targeting functional threshold and high VO2 workouts with some endurance on the weekends. We build your fast before you're far. So by the time you get to the spring, you can turn down the fast and start adding some volume when the weather gets nice and unleash your endurance potential. Stop following the same program and hoping you get different results. Head over to endurancenation.us/outseason to get our 14-week program for one low price now.
Hey there, Coach Patrick here from Endurance Nation, back with a recap from our Spring Classics 2025 camp. First time we've ever gone to Belgium/France. We were literally on the river border right there between two towns. And boy, they couldn't be any different than each other. Belgian houses are square and French houses are triangular, or much more angular, I should say. We had a fantastic time. It was epic. And I'm going to do a little bit different this time and kind of walk you through some of the images that we have from the week. So we did basically 11 days in and out of Heathrow on the ends. In between that, 2 Sportives, Flanders on the front end, Roubaix on the back end. And then in between, lots of cycling, adventure, and fun and beer. So I'm going to add this to the screen right here and see if this works. There we go. All right, so I'm going to walk you through this, and we're just going to go slide by slide just so you have a sense of everything. This is the hotel at night, me texting everybody who's our driver coming in the vans where they can pull up and get us. This is like after 10 hours of travel right here, and getting people in and getting them ready to go. Like super fun and super exciting, but definitely really challenging as well, just to get the logistics done of everything. But you can see we're ready to have a good old time here with Josh, who's already riding his bike even before he takes it out of the box. Like no joke, that man has more fun on a bike that's even in a box than most people I know on the open road. All right. We threw Ralph into the back of the van along with all of our equipment, bikes and everything. And despite Ralph not being a small person, he looks practically tiny buried in this van, where he spent most of his trip on all of our road stuff was here in the back, keeping things on track for us. Doing the thing here on our way to the tunnel, just taking a look around at the things and just taking pictures of some fun stuff. Like, I don't know what Smurfit Kappa is, but it sounds amazing. Dealing with gear orders, craziness. Taking a quick break here. What you can't see is that in the way to get rid of unwanted seagulls and birds in Europe is to have a falcon that attacks those seagulls instead of using like devices or something unsustainable. So we had a falcon on the way to passport security control. Got my Belgian beer book on inside the van here as we were coming across and getting ready for the tunnel, just getting ready for everything. Tons of snacks, salts, and fluids, of course. All the Coke in the world you might need. This is the train that we took through the tunnel, basically driving down and getting on the train here and driving straight on in. It's kind of wild and crazy to experience the whole tunnel piece. And out the other side into France, in Belgium, where we decided to go through. We went right over to Flanders to register for the ride, which was in less than 12 hours. We get everything ready. So took a bunch of pictures here, had the obligatory beer here at the check-in hall, because this is how you do a check-in at a bike event in Belgium. There was even a band playing silly music, and they were all riders as well. And this is the course you could see we're doing. We did this orange outline of a course here with the extra bonus of the black. This black piece here, which is like 100 kilometers of just time just to make it the same distance as the men's race. It's not worth it whatsoever. And so we did just the quality climbs here. And you can get a sense of what it's like here in Belgium with all the back and forths, roundabouts and turns. A lot of the famous one-day classics are just that. Here's some sense for you, like what the climbs were. And the big ones here, 1,000 feet long, right? 1,200, 3/4 of a mile. Longest one was just over a mile, the Kreuzberg. Haute-Quaremont is where we spent watching the race, which is 2,000 meters long. So 1.25 miles at 4% with a kicker at 11.6, or the Paterberg at the end. It was pretty wild. Just to kind of see these here and know that we were going to ride them the next day. Obviously had a beer to just prepare myself. And then we went back and got on the bikes quickly and just went to check things out, just to stretch our legs, etc. Even get a sense of like, zipping along here on the side of the canal that we were staying on. It's just an average day. This is gravel in Europe right here. Unless you're in like a farm field, this is just basic gravel in Europe, which involves no terrible or painful rocks, which most of us are used to, which is kind of crazy. Did some exploring in here. Actually saw plenty of pillboxes in the forest. I tried to capture a picture of it, but couldn't. Pillboxes being from those World War I days. All right, this morning, everyone lining up. 16,000 of us. We took a picture just to make sure we had everybody. And yes, we had pom-poms on our heads so we could find each other in the crowd, which was brilliant. But I have to say, a lot of the Europeans had no idea what that was about, although they did make fun of us for the pom-poms the whole time, which was pretty wild. But they were also very effective. All right. This is us just doing our admin stuff and getting out there and riding. Here's an example of what it's like: open field, terrain, etc. With 16,000 people riding. It was pretty rare to find open time, but we spend time, reconnecting. Tom Glynn here, representing all in our Endurance Station kit, in between every checkpoint that we could possibly get to. Food and rest stations were all pretty open. You can see here, music playing, rocking out, all the food and stuff that you want. Of course, the pom-pom, getting it on totally. Everybody's doing the pom-pom. Even had Tom doing the pom-pom. Let's see here. This is us rolling into the finish, which is hard to believe. 6 hours later, this is the town square where they took over everything, and they made a bike park. You could park your bike, check it in and out, so you could hang out. So we certainly checked our bikes and went to hang out, and got out there. And plenty of food back at the place just to recover, because the next day we're going back to watch the race ourselves, right? Amazing. All right. Bear with me as I go through all the admin stuff here. You can see on our way out, just to watch the race the next day, lots of walking, tons and tons of walking, all the fans lined up so we can get there. This is the lead up. Actually, this is the pros here, and there was actually a big crash just before they showed up for us, right at the beginning. This is the first time through. We could watch the men go through there. And then it was off. That was the first time through, and it was time for us to climb up. We basically just parked ourselves on the side of the old Quaremont here and kind of hung out. It was pretty epic. Lots of music, energy, just like wild, crazy times as the pros came through. Here's just some of the quick pictures that we saw of them. This is a picture right from the side of the race. So you can just see the pros like right here, like just on you. And you can also just see like just dealing with the cobbles, like holding those bars and like just the power and everything going into the bike. This is where Pogačar made his move the third time through, which is pretty insane. The most insane thing was like this Belgian dude didn't fall down and kill somebody because they were just so drunk the whole time, which is so funny. Some photos from the day just suffering on this hill. Didn't have to get off though. This was a 20% grade, I think. Which is pretty insane. And some other examples you can see where you just get to take over the whole course on the road. More suffering. This is the top of the Kreuzberg up here with the cross. I can't even tell you how insane this climb was inside here with like 4 90-degree turns, all the cobbles, etc. This is the second time through. We got a good shot of Pogačar coming through. In our intermission here with the family. This is us going out checking some of the other cobbles of the course that we had missed earlier. And then just going around and exploring. This is us checking out like Wevelgem course and just the general neighborhood around. No safe place for us. We could not avoid any cobbles we wanted. This is in Ypres in France, the cloth factory. Again, just going out exploring on some of these back roads. Menin Gate, a huge piece of history here. And we actually did go to the ceremony. Let's see here. We found the Uno X van. This is us like throughout the week, just sort of exploring other terrain and courses. Super fun. Super amazing. This is my favorite here. You can see Belgian house, right? And then a French house. Belgian houses. Here we go. We're in the bird. You can choose triangles or squares. Triangles or squares. I wonder if the triangle people get mad at the square people. We get in a fight. Huh. No idea. Triangle Man. Speaking of Triangle Man, we found Lego Man here in the woods. This was an amazing adventurous ride that we had here, which is gorgeous all around the Belgian countryside. Lots of check-ins from me, all the pieces of the puzzle here. Oh, this is the entrance to the Ehrenberg for Roubaix. This is towards the end of the week. This is our chance to go through and do some recon. This is, for us, is the first section for the average people doing the ride. But for the pros, this is like their 10th gravel section that they do. They do so much more than we do. But you can tell the Telltale Bridge here. This is part of this, which is known as the Hell of the North, because this part of the world was hell in World War I. It's a pretty humbling space to be, and just a great chance to get out there and just kind of recon it and see it for ourselves. Do the Eddie Merckx sector. And I just want you to get a good look at these cobbles, which is just so crazy. Here we go. Here's the good part.
Take a look at how many watts I'm putting out right now. Don't worry, I can't read it either.
So on the event day, you wanted to be on this middle line for sure, because that's like the easiest path. Or you wanted to be way over in the gutter, but you did not want to be here, which was terrible. When you saw the pros flat and just kind of fall like off the pace or ruin something, it's transitioning in and out of the space, because they do have, it's hard to see, but there is like a little line here of like vertical cobbles as a gutter, which is pretty insane. I found Quick Steps van, more touring, more stones, more cobbles. This is our evening off, just a chance to kind of get around Yves and explore. There's the cloth building as well. Again, just amazing architecture, everything. Memory of all those who lost their lives here in World War I. This is the Menin Gate piece, and even the ceremony, which is just amazing. Then a night out here, and then more riding, which is crazy. Oh, in case you're wondering what laundry is like at Endurance Nation Camp, this is during the day here. Of course, you can use your clothing rack. When you have too many campers, then you've got to use your van. When you run out of windows in your van, obviously you'd use the tree across the street to hang up your bib shorts. Just a sense here. Here's a monument, 600,000 victims, and they have them all over from, France, Belarus, America, Tunisia, all the people who fought in the war, the women, like just crazy. Hard to believe. We did find the chicken crossing the road here in Belgium. That was super fun. And like a typical French chicken, it wanted nothing to do with us whatsoever. Just kind of walked its way all the way across here and did its own thing. Just like that. Let's see here. More recon rides, getting ready. Last touch. Oh, this is us riding down to Roubaix along the canal, just to kind of sneak into the side of the course here. It's about a 30-kilometer ride. You can tell by the weather this whole week just how amazing it was. Most of the time, the weather in Belgium is awful. This is the last bit here for the velodrome, the center, and the previous champions. You can't tell from this angle, but their names are in the stones here on this pathway, which is pretty cool. All right. This is the velodrome where they finish, and we actually got to ride in as well, which is pretty cool. Though they had us ride in the wrong direction. It's a challenge. Let's see if I can find more rides. This is us in the morning. That's where we're going to roll out through the arch and getting ready. Here you go. You get a sense for like what the layout was, what the road was like. And here's a quick example of my hands so beaten up after just the first section in Ehrenberg, which is so brutal. You can see all the riders. This is us pulled over on the side. But even just to take a look, it's hard to see here, but those flags, the wind here was the biggest thing. And now when the wind blows apart the races, I know exactly what they mean, because it's crazy. Let's see if we can get, oh, there's no video there. It's too bad. Finally finishing, like surviving afterwards, getting cleaned up, pulled together, watching the race here, living the dream. Watching the race roll in for the women, and then we went down to go watch them in the velodrome here inside there and watch the women come across, which was pretty amazing. You can see here. This is the French Olympic champion mountain biker who decided to come back to road racing to finish. They have to do one lap of the velodrome before they finish. So obviously the French were super pleased and happy for huge victory for her, and it was just awesome to kind of just be able to walk in and watch it. Then the next day we went out to watch, almost done here, walk down the Ehrenberg again, just to give you a sense of those cobbles. We're trying to find down.
forest of Ehrenberg. It's freaking hard to walk on. Can't believe we rode this yesterday. Gonna find a spot to be able to watch. I'm humping like beverages and baguettes and ham. Wet-ish this morning. Warming up, getting better. May even be slightly dry by the time people get here. But I mean, no joke whatsoever. Just get a sense of this. Look at the gaps on those rocks. Even with size 38.
Which is so crazy. I am. Yeah. Oh no, I'm almost done. So sorry. So the cars were coming through, like barreling through here. Team cars come through as well. Everyone's like super excited, leaning over, and you get you can just look at this. They're racing on these on like 28s, 30s, maybe 32s as well. It was just so wild. And then the pros start to come through. Let's see if we can find the pros here. Here we go. These are the chasers. There's Vanderpool, progression. You can just see their bikes. Did you hear that? Let's go back again and see if you can hear it. Listen for the shot. Right there. Did you hear that? Totally. Mads Pedersen runs into the worst rock ever in flats. In fact, so many people ran over that rock. I can't believe they didn't die. This is him coming through just before he flatted. There's Vanderpool in the front. And then we went to the Carrefour de l'Arbre to kind of cheer and see where everyone was. And again, just total mayhem here on this section, hanging out and trying to see everybody come through. And Vanderpool was going to be first. By this point in time, he'd gotten away from the ride and was actually off the front here. And this is, just kind of getting as close as I can and watching him roll through. Here you go. Just off the front, just crushing it right through, which is wild. And I'll end it here because I wanted to share the pictures with you so you get a sense of what the overall experience was like up front and personal with the roads, with the riders, with the event, the energy that is cycling in Europe. It was pretty amazing. Plenty of close encounters with Belgian beer, delicious sour beers, and good cuisine as well. But more importantly, good friends, great memories. I'll be proud to show off those pictures anytime people stop me to ask me more about what it was like. But definitely recommend it if you are a huge fan of cycling. Super accessible, super fun, and just to be out there on it. You can go to the Alps, but not many people can do a 4-hour climb. But you can go out there and ride these climbs and just get a real sense for just how hard these courses are. Just so worth it. I'm almost bummed the single-day classics are over, but I'll never forget it. So hopefully if we do this camp again, you'll have a chance to join us. But I hope you enjoyed this quick video slideshow about what's going on here inside Endurance Nation for our training camps. Our next camp is in Tuscany at the end of June. A whole different type of experience, but just equally as fun and adventurous. All right. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I hope you enjoyed the show.
Endurance Nation.
Hey, podcast fans. I know you love the podcast because here you are, you're listening to it, and you're still listening to me talk right now. Did you know you can get content just like this in your inbox once a month? We send out a great newsletter. We call it, guess what? The Unfair Advantage. That's right. It's our information to you, something that separates you from the competition. If they're not here, then they don't know. But if you are here, then now you do. Zero excuses. If you go check us out online at endurancenation.us/newsletter, it's your opportunity to enter your email address, sign up for these updates. They come once a month, sometimes twice a month, depending on my race schedule. And it's your chance to get insider information that's going to help you become a better, smarter athlete. Don't miss out on this chance to get ahead of the competition. It doesn't cost you any money, and it's not a ton of work. It's just your email address. That's endurancenation.us/newsletter.
For more information about Endurance Nation, visit us online at endurancenation.us. The provided music is from the Podshow Podsafe Music Network. Check it out at music.podshow.com.